When it comes to trailer hubs and maintenance on the bearings in those trailer hubs, you have a couple of options. One of those, if done correctly, is going to get you a nice smooth ride down the road. The other one of those is going to turn this into a grenade. When it comes to trailer hubs, whether that be grease, oil, idler, disc brake setup, drum setup, there's really only two ways to properly lubricate them. There's a right way and a wrong way. You either do it right or you do it wrong. And really there's just no in between for that. If you're gonna be in there, if you're gonna do it, you might as well do it right the first time so you don't have to pay for it down the road or do it 4 or 5 times. That's what we're gonna show today. We're gonna show a couple of components, and I'm gonna show you one that I've talked about a bunch, and I'm gonna keep talking about it because people still, for whatever reason, miss this. I'm gonna give you my opinion at the end of the video why this is often not addressed. I think there's 2 reasons for that. We're gonna cover both of those today, and after we cover that, there'll be no excuse for it, right? So as you can see this fine specimen here, this is a 7K torsion axle. I think the last time it was packed was probably when they did the assembly at the manufacturing plant when they built this axle. So it's been a while. You can see the both portions of the inner part of the bearing. These aren't races, these are actually bearing. You have an inner part of the bearing there and an inner part of the bearing there. So this would be what we would call a bearing grenade. And what causes that, what pulled the pin on this grenade, was not putting this in there when you're supposed to, not taking the necessary steps to maintain it. But many times people will put this back together before it gets to this point, but because of 1 or 2 steps that they leave out, it will cause this right here and cause it quick. So there's really no reason to get to this point, even with age. If these are taken care of on a regular basis, you need to check with your manufacturer on that. Many manufacturers recommend a bearing pack at every 12,000 miles. This is standard grease, not easy lube. We're not going to really cover easy lube today. We do have a video on that if you want to know what my 2 cents worth are on easy lube. We'll leave a link in the description below. Also, be sure to click to subscribe to stay updated on our videos. Leave us comments. We have this piece of junk here, so this will go in the cheeseburger fund, as we affectionately love to call it. I'm gonna get this out of the way. I'm gonna show you a cutaway of this to show you what you really need to be looking for. So here we have a spindle. I believe this is number 42 spindle, something similar to you would see on a 7K axle. So we have the inner bearing and we have the outer bearing. And that's what they look like when they're put in the right position. They don't go backwards. If you can get it to fit on there that way, you may be doing good. Don't do that. Underneath this inner bearing, you would have the seal. Not going to demonstrate the seal today. If you want to know those parts, be sure to check our bearing pack video out where we go in depth on the proper way to do this. We're going to cover it a little bit today, but that's really not our focus today. I'm going to show you this cutaway of what happens and what really surprises me from a certain few of you that I get to talk to. So we have this cutaway here. So this is a 7K idler hub. We don't use very many 7K idlers, so I thought, well, we will just cut this one up. And anytime I get a chance to make a cutaway, it's a good excuse. So here we have the hub, and these are the races. This is the inner race, and this is the outer race. So I'm gonna put this together on the spindle now so you can see what it looks like when it's assembled. Like I said, we're not going to put the seal. I'll go ahead and put the washer and the castle nut. And your nut may look different than this. If you're running an easy lube setup, you may have a jam nut. You may have a 12 castle nut. You have your spindle shaft here. You have your inner race and your outer race. And as we've showed in many of our videos, these 2 parts here, this is what they look like when they're out of the unit. That's the inner, that's the outer. These come in all different sizes. They're always all round, so they don't come in different shapes, but different sizes depending on what weight axle you have. This would be for a 7K setup here. So what the races do, they are the 2 components, the inner and the outer, that are inside your hub that your bearing rides in. And they are machined. They both have a taper. This is a tapered bearing. Sometimes these are also called a cup. So if you call them a cup where you come from, that's fine. We call cups different things around here. One of them you drink coffee out of. We're not going to get into the other one, but we just call them races around here. So they go together like that. And really that's what's holding the weight and the load of the trailer. As that hub turns, it's riding on that bearing, which is riding on the spindle. So you can imagine there's a lot of force there. Same way seeing it in there, inner and outer. That's what they look like assembled, and that's doing all the work of that hub. So you can imagine if one or the other of these are worn out, they're going to get some wobble in there, they're going to get some chatter, they're going to get some vibration. If it's pitted or if it's worn, it will eat the new part up. That would be like if you put an old bearing in a new race. I've never seen anybody do that, but maybe somebody has. I would say the instance that would be is somebody went and bought them a new hub and reused maybe an old bearing they had laying around or something. It's going to cause the same thing. So these need to be in spec with one another. They wear together. I do see these sometimes that are worn to where this bearing is trying to eat through the backside because they're 20, 30 years old. They've been maintained, but they're just worn out. They don't last forever. They are a wear item and they have to be replaced. So that's the importance of the races. They're really, it's where the bearing rides. So they're super important. They're as important of the bearing. You need to have both of them in good working order. For whatever reason, many times it ain't like these are like gold. They're not super expensive. They're not elusive. You can get these easily. Sometimes when you buy a bearing, it will come with it. Some it won't come with it. I know some of y'all made the comment before, I only buy bearings when they're a match set. Well, good for you, buckaroo, if you can find those. Sometimes you can in the automotive world. But in the trailer manufacturing world, usually these come in bulk and the bearings come in bulk. So getting them in a match set may not always be easy to do, but if that's what you want to do, I fully support that. If you want to buy the American made, buy the American made. If you want to buy the not American made, buy what fits your budget. As I've said 100 times, it's usually not the quality of the bearing or race that I see fail. It's the quality of whoever's doing the maintenance on it or the lack of the maintenance. Many times when we go to pack the bearing, we'll pull this bearing out. Let's see if I can get it back apart. And we'll wash our bearings in whatever solution you decide to wash them with. And we'll notice like, man, this thing is as blue as the blue light special at the Kmart. Or it's a bronze color, or it's pitted and grooved, and we're real quick about, well, we need to get a new bearing. Two things that prompted this video is this unit that I have behind us that come in, and I also had somebody come in needing to buy some bearings for a 10K trailer. He wanted just the bearings, and I asked, hey, would you like to buy the races? No, the races look good. Let's talk about that. Do the races really look good? The thing that surprises me the most is when a mechanic or a shop will come in to purchase a bearing, and I'll ask, hey, do you want to get the races of that? No, I looked them races. They look pretty good right there. I'm going to tell you, if this needs to be replaced, this 100% needs to be replaced. People ask me, hey, when do you change your races? Only when I'm changing my bearings. They say, when do you change your bearings? Only when I'm changing my races. So I always change them together. So why do they not get changed? Let's talk about that. So in this hub, if you were looking at it, and you can imagine this is all the other piece was there, those have to be driven or pressed down in there. You don't need a ton of special tools. You can use a punch. You have to be careful. This is hardened. You could fracture it. You could chip it. So be careful with that. We'll leave a link. I'll go grab one here in a minute and show you one of the tools that we use. We showed it before. They're inexpensive. If you do your own maintenance, there's no reason for you not to have one. It's kind of like our Lyle bearing packer that we promote. It's really no reason not to have one. They're affordable. They're super handy, and it will make your life easier. You have to get these out. And once you get them out, you have to replace them with new ones. The only time that I could ever think of not replacing these, if you've had a bad bearing, whether that be a total loss in the bearing or if it's just worn, is maybe you're stranded somewhere. Maybe you're broke down on the side of the road. You don't have all the necessary tools to remove and reinstall the races. So at that point, you could pack your bearing, put it together, and maybe move it at a non-highway speed to limp it to a safe location so that you could do a proper teardown. Here's your other options, and sometimes it's just as affordable, especially if you need to go pay somebody to remove and reinstall the races. If you don't feel confident doing this, it may be an option for you just to buy a new hub. Not trying to sell you a new hub, but the new hub will come with new races already installed. You can buy new bearings, and I have some guys and gals that do that from time to time. They don't want to mess with it. They don't feel confident putting it back together. So especially on some of your smaller axles, you can buy a complete kit with new bearings, many times already pre-packed, and just put it back together that way. If you're running a brake setup, many times the drums are worn so bad it needs a new one anyways, and there's really no reason to go to the time and trouble to replace the races. Just replace the hub on that so you have a good brake surface and you have new races and new bearings. So I'm going to show you the tool that we use. I'll leave a link to one similar to this. It's aluminum. You can use this to reinstall the races, also your seals. You can see that one's been whooped a time or two. It does normally not. It doesn't look like that when it comes in, but you can tell that we use it. So you would just get your new race and you would find a matching piece and you would hammer that in there. And what you're going to listen for, you're going to listen to the sound change. Like put this on a hard surface concrete floor. If you have a good heavy workbench, you drive it down until it don't go anymore. You don't want to short it. If you were to shorten this race, when you go to tighten down that nut, it is going to come loose. You're going to lose your preload on the bearing, and it could cause catastrophic failure. So make sure that when you drive these in, that they're seated all the way down on the bottom. And that's not something you're really gonna be able to see. Once you install them, you may be able to shine a flashlight down in there to confirm that, but you're really gonna have to work off sound and work off feel. When it bottoms out, the sound is gonna be really dead. So that's what you're looking for. So pick you up, if you're gonna do your own bearing pack, your own maintenance, pick you up one of these. Like I said, again, very affordable. You'll need a hammer and some safety glasses, maybe a set of gloves, and that's about it. So the only reason that I think, and this is just my observation of why these are not replaced, is one of two reasons. Lack of knowledge, which is what we're covering today, and laziness. Lack of knowledge is understandable. There's things, I had a trailer come in today, we'll show this later, with a lug nut that I've never seen in my life. And I've been doing this for a few days, spent a few hours, had to make a phone call and ask somebody, hey, do you know what this is? They're like, yeah, we've got some of those, I'll ship them to you. I said, it'd be great, because I've never seen one before. It's always good to learn. You should learn every day. So now that you know what you know, don't be lazy and don't install these. If you're one of those shops, I know we have a few shops that watch. If you're one of those shops and you're too lazy to put one of these in, maybe you need to look at doing something different. Be honest with your customer. Customer, if you go to a shop and they replace the bearings, you say, well, did you replace the races? And they say, no, them things look good. No, tell them, no, they don't look good. I want new races. That's crazy talk. There's really no reason not to replace those. They're inexpensive. They're not rocket science as far as putting them in. If you don't feel confident, that's okay. There's some things I don't feel confident doing, so I go a different route or pay somebody to do it. Because not replacing these and just replacing these, it's not a matter of if, it's just a matter of when. It's going to happen. You're going to grenade the bearings. You may get lucky and you just get some slack in it and you don't completely blow up and come off. Or it may be like the one you have behind us here and it just lost the tire and wheel, and you may or may not ever find that. So do your bearing pack when you're supposed to. If it's time to change those bearings out, it's always time to change the races out. If it's time to change the races out, it's always time to change the bearings out. So whether you buy those in the match set or you buy them in bulk, put them together and put them in and keep on rolling down the road. So with that being said, tighten the lug nuts, balance your tires, put new races in, and just keep on rolling, and we will see you down the road.